Okay, so um, what happened last time?
Uh, well, last time we had the beginning of our festival, essentially. All that work and preparations has finally come to a head as we prepared to invite a wealthy set of guests as well as a very important set of not Guinness guests, but swordsmen of the Guinness School who were here to do a festival that seemed to be the main attraction for a lot of people. Most of the house went off to greet these esteemed swordsmen as they came off the boat. Some of them a lot older than you expected, but all of them, of course, showing to be very well and into their craft. And after all that long list of, well, the youngest to oldest, the youngest being 40, and well, plus Silax, Lord Orpheus stepped out as well, to the surprise of necessarily all of us because he knew he was here, but the surprise of us knowing that he walked off with the rest of them, showing that he was on their level, as he didn't seem to have come as the Lord, but as a Guinness swordsman as well. A bit of a conversation with Silax that did not raise anyone's blood pressure, as they weighed their way out and were going to go prepare for their their whole play and meeting essentially. Uh, we're going to go back to, hopefully to prepare for everything else before we stopped and saw behind them, of course, was a familiar banner being raised by another boat. House Draco was made their way here, and we were, to our surprise, it wasn't Draco, it wasn't Flavus who stepped out, but a legion of white serpents, who were here very much as they said to all of us, that they were here to make sure this was a safe environment for the Lord to be in, with our record, of course, in that we they needed to check out to make sure things are safe here. Um, and with no reason to say no, even with their very much court and frank attitude, they went off to go search the island and make sure everything is well and good. At least so that's what they told us. An odd situation, but nothing too bad as we continue going forward. And well, everyone had to do different things for their meetings. Essentially, Gary went off to have a meeting with Peter at the Secret Ingredient, as Peter essentially told him like, "Hey, things are gonna get a little weird. I'm just gonna be around," and gave him some a bit of a very bit of warning essentially. Though he said everything's gonna be all right. Don't worry. As he pulled out a hat and just tried to scatter off as they had seen what serpents appear. Though there was a bit of an awkward situation when Peter knocked over a chair and they noticed him and he had to make a run for it. Though Gary was baffled by the whole thing, he didn't interfere as things continue on. Rianne, along with Renira, who they were hanging out for the festival, mostly because Rianne needed some emotional support for this whole situation, as she went off to check on the swordsman, more worried about his possible death or destruction going on, essentially. And she had a conversation with to make sure the swordsmen were all right. The Guinness swordsman seemed to be preparing for the big day, essentially. And he had a talk with Lord Silax, who seemed to be very much happier, at least from the last time we saw him, as he seemed to be preparing for this as well. Though he did seem to, of course, ruffle Rianne's feathers as he usually does. Though Rianne, I think, held it pretty well, especially since now was there to get her out of there before things turned worse. Outside of that, I believe our lovely lady Freya was off communicating with the other people here, other noble people here, as well as having a lovely conversation with them, greeting them, things like that. And of course, stopped by and seeing the familiar house, House Helm, who seemed to be here as well and off and with their son Alvor, and that lovely conversation between her before she went off to also go to the secret bakery. She was very much looking forward to it, as she was saying that she heard about their delicious cakes. And of course, well, Freya also saw familiar faces. There was Lord Draco Flavus and Lady Orpheus as well, Cassius Orpheus, who seemed to be talking with one another. Well, Freya, of course, did the proper duty by saying hello and talking with them, and Cassius, of course, invited her along to indulge and hang out. Even though, of course, Flavus didn't seem to be too gung ho about the whole thing, they decided to enjoy themselves and go to this lovely bakery that they've been hearing about. While that was going on, Rian and Naira, after Rian was able to calm herself down with Naira's help, decided to like, you know what, let's get some drinks, get some food, and then we'll go off and have fun in the games. And then we went off, also went off the bakery. We were all these paths met there as everyone came together to communicate and talk with one another and have a good time, or at least that's what it came off to be as. Lady Cassius, Freya, and Lord Draco were already there, and we sat down with them, as well as the House Nyx and Damocles came as well with the family wasn't really much for socializing, but they were being polite, was sitting with the rest of us. And of course, a surprise visit from House Alos with their good friend Alexei, who we've now all known as well, coming in with his lovely bride, fiance, essentially, as we all sat down after some help from a very well-known worker for at least Rianne, as who seemed to be hobbling along and having a hard time. Naira, of course, doing her due diligence, decided to see what his injuries were like and make sure he's all right. And Rian, realizing this is very odd because mostly the worker that she has here doesn't normally drink or hobble or such things. And after Naira took a look at him, seeing that he just seemed to have a bit of an injury on his leg and gave him some advice on what to do, I seemed to see he was all good and clear, though Rian made sure to go check on him as everyone sat down and communicated and talked with one another. Rian's conversation with this lovely worker, of course, revealed him to be Peter in disguise. Um, though when Rian tried to ask him what was going on or for questions, he said everything's fine. Though I need a favor from you. Essentially, their House Elos has the Bene Gesserit, which, as Rian would know, would speak with Alexei, is her fiance, who I need you to have a way for him to get as close to Lord Flavis as possible. Rian, not understanding, but nodding along and saying, yes, I will do so. As Peter says, everything's going to be fine. It's good, as he ran off again afterwards. While that was going on, like I said, the tables were put together by, while we know him to be Peter in disguise. And Houses Alos, Benes Gesserit, Fiala had a message directly meant for her, basically warning her about the white serpents to stay away from them and keep an eye out for House Alos, which she will, of course, take, and knowing that is her orders. Well, as Rian came back after Alexei also grabbed a large sort of cake and did a wonderful display, showing off his wonderful skills to everyone else.
Man never
She
fails. Fuck my life.
never fails. I love that guy. He's just God's favorite. I don't know what to say. We did have a moment to see that Lord Flavus wanted to speak with Lady Cassius privately, though Rian a bit interrupted to see what Flavus' schedule was and saw that as an opportunity when he was going to see the plays to enact this wish that Peter had asked for her. As we all separated after that, House Alos, some members of House Alos going with him, and some other people going to other things. We decided to go and watch this play with, well, like I said, Rian shifting his seats around so Fiala, the Bene Gesserit, could get close to Flavius. And unbeknownst to most of us, she was able to realize that himself is a face changer. That this man is not Flavius Draco, no longer, if he ever was, essentially. And with that information, she kept to herself as we watched the play go forward. And of course, the Guinness Swordsmans do a wonderful, wonderful stage performance, especially with the help of Naira's aluminum lights algae that she was working on before this. That just made everything wonderful. And an encore happened. As we were saying, well, congratulating everything going on, the heir of House Alos asked Lady Freya if he can have a chance to speak with one of the swordsmen, of course, that he wanted to see and congratulate them behind doors. Of course, we don't know that he had another agenda to find a swordsman to add to his house. Well, not just him, but apparently everyone else, as other noble houses asked for the same request. House Alos was able to find their swordsmen along with a few others. And during that time, Fiala met Lord Silex, who seems to be very friendly with Lord Alexi, and who seemed to be very happy and awed by the Guinness swordsman as a whole. Like I said, outside that, the show ended well. Things seemed to be going all right as swordsman's toys and figurines were sold out, and looks like the money was growing very rapidly. I believe with the Gary hopefully was very pleased, though there was a bit of a hiccup at the end as our noble customers left, and well, this white serpents appeared, revealing that they had captured a man and that he was being arrested for bringing in illegal Onyxian devices into our lovely planet. Essentially, a very illegal act, something that was against the Empire as a whole. Surprised to see that it's Peter, though Rian, of course, is very upset and trying to understand and get some questions, though the white serpents seem to be stonewalling and not really answering her questions at all. Though she did request if you get some more information, since this man was at our house, we would like to know exactly what's going on. And I don't think they ever did answer that for her, essentially, because they took Peter away and left with essentially their prize. As while we wanted the end, we did lose something else as well. I think as well there was a retreat back to our home, and well, Rian trying to deal with that whole situation, got a surprise visit from an unknown man dressed in, well, concealing his identity as he revealed, like, hey, you are basically very upset with her, and not with her, but everyone there. And that, well, if things go wrong, I will paint the town with the blood of this entire house. And
What?
Rihanna's confusion, she's just like, what? What did I do? He's just like, you know what you did, and it disappears. And Rihanna, of course, is has enough knowledge to know that that was the red demon who seemed very upset with her, to her confusion. So that's added on with her whole situation, our whole house situation as a whole. And I think that's where it ended last time
Yeah.
for us, basically.
No, listen, Gary, the festival sure did make money. Definitely more than you put in. Unfortunately, the hit to the PR, I'll say this, Peter has been officially denounced by the corporation as until future until like the investigation can come to a head, see if there's any proof to these allegations. They basically denied everything and have like dropped him like a sack of potatoes. He has been officially kind of like kicked out, uh, suspended indefinitely, at least officially. Um, Meanwhile, let's see what everyone else has been up to. Starting from my left, um, what has Freya been up to for the last half a year or so?
She would have mostly looked um how the house is doing, and also quite often interact with Elva if he's in for
Yeah.
it.
Uh,
Yes.
so I would say this for the house, things are going along great. You've been able to expand. You've been able to build Naira's kind of like biology lab, where she can now much better test and run experiments and research things like, well, of course, the algae, what your might become something of a staple product for you in the future if you're able to market and sell it at mass. Um, or maybe just keep it at something that's like a local here and you just have to like to turn it into a local attraction. Either way would
Mm.
work. Of course, I'm sure there are no more Adam and Eve investigations, no more bio
Well, they're
babies,
dead,
and
so.
listen, it's more where that came from. It's fine. Just ask for more samples. Um, you've also finished constructing Enrico's little training camp where he has already started the first batch of fresh new recruits that hopefully by the end of the year will prove to be somewhat competent and maybe offer you more peace of mind than the current mercenaries you still have on payroll, um, or maybe add on top of that. And of course, Alvar is, well, he's definitely up for it. Um, he is much, 'cause he's like a very friendly sort, very uh, polite and courteous, but that doesn't like never strikes you as the sort of kind of like political schemer. He does genuinely just care about his interests, and he spends. I guess then you would spend like a lot of time since he has a similar interest to yours. I feel. Um,
Yeah.
he's definitely into like the local ecology and botany, and he can like actually give you advice with several of the gardens you have planted across the city, um, and how better to maintain them or improve them or all sorts of these things. He does seem a very diligent sort of man. And when he's not with you, he is training under Gary. As Gary, you've been able to definitely improve his, should I say this, mental capabilities. Put him through a lot of rigorous math training which definitely helps with a lot of the subjects he's interested in. And well, maybe you've taught him a bit about how finances work and how. But I'll leave that up to you to let me know. What would you have focused in this man's education, if anything? Mac, this is you.
I would have taught him how to. No. I was about to say. I basically would have. Gary would have taught him how to how to officially not tell the whole truth tactically.
He's been failing at that miserably.
Amazing.
This man is the sort of he will never lie. He feels like lying
Amazing.
is absolutely like dishonorable, and only cowards lie.
Oh God, no! Oh no! What?
In fact,
God
you
damn
do
it.
know his justice score is 7. And you know
Uh.
his truth score is 8.
Oh, if you had to put a numerical value on it, you would guess that.
Yeah.
All right
He
then.
believes
Yeah.
one of his core beliefs that you would have been able to figure out in this time is that, hey, your word is your value. If you compromise that, then you lose yourself. This is the
Well, we're
Ned
not
Stark
compromising
of
words.
Dune. This is the Ned Stark of
Yeah, well,
Dune.
we're
Well,
we're compromising numbers, not words.
No,
God damn it.
he'll learn. He'll try and teach him how to manipulate numbers. He'll now just know how to spot the manipulation when somebody's trying to fool him with numbers.
Hey, that's something. That's something. Yeah, I'll teach him how to. It can teach him like tricks on how to read contracts and find out the hidden details. Basically, that I'll basically if I cannot instill the sense of
No.
business savviness,
Absolutely
at least
not.
show him.
You can
I can at least show him.
you can instill the sense of efficiency. That's certainly
Yeah,
something you
at least I
can do.
can do that. Yeah. And also how to avoid pitfalls and how to spot them at least
Yeah,
during negotiations.
his duty score is
And whatnot.
6. Like this man's a hard-working
we're getting all of his
student.
stats.
Yeah, son, this
Yeah,
is
now we can
you spend a
triangulate.
lot of
Probably we
time.
can triangulate the other
Yeah,
one. Yeah. Yeah,
this is
5 faith, 4 power. There we go. There's his drives.
actually correct. 5 faith is his 5th one. Yes, you are in fact correct.
Oh man,
High
we can
understand,
fix
high
it. We can teach him.
discipline, nothing else.
Uh, yeah, damn it.
Fix him. He's good. Like, what's there to fix? It's fine, Gary.
Okay,
This is his purpose. I feel like Gary, you can piece together exactly what Peter was cooking
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he sent this man here. You can also understand why a noble house of like a major status would not appreciate this sort of naivete, especially since you know that they are known for like
Yeah,
providing like
he will not be able to
saboteurs.
survive negotiation. Yeah, he would know.
This man will probably doesn't fit with his family that well. They're probably on the other end of the extreme. So it kind of makes sense why they just dumped him on you. And you do get the feeling that he's not necessarily friendly with most of them. It's like a cordial relationship. He's seemingly much more happy here, spending time with you and Freya than he was at home. Then, if there's anything else, Gary?
No, that shall be all. He's a good and sweet boy. A saint. Another saint.
And you said there were no good people in the Dune universe.
None in
I'm-
power. None in nobility. Do you think this
That's
guy will
because
be
they
made?
they die. They
I
die.
was gonna
That's
say,
what-
think-
Look, there's
this-
still
this-
time.
This guy will only. This guy will only inherit his major
Alexi
house
should have
title.
been dead by now. Alexi has survived through the fucking intervention of the fates themselves. Like that man should
Good people can
not
only
be alive.
survive through luck. They can only get in power through luck. Alexi
Yeah,
was not
the fates
destined
are
fucking-
called the Bene Gesserit.
Yes. In fact, you are correct. You are 100% correct.
It was in fact their intervention. He was saved.
If the Bene Gesserit wasn't with him, he would have been dead at this point. But yeah,
Telling you, man. This is
I never said there's no good people in the Dune universe. At least not in my version. The books
No
now,
good
that's
nobles.
something else, but it's fine. So this guy was handpicked by Peter to just put here.
Peter on The Bachelor looking for the correct one.
Peter doing the matchmaking algorithm. Um, okay, then we'll
He is our dating app.
moving on. What's Naira been doing personally for the last couple of months?
Um, now that she has a biology lab, I do think she's going to put effort into the algae because that is kind of like her biggest thing right now, like at least recognition wise for the house.
Yeah.
So like in terms of like adding like it to the water features in like a garden or like in maybe like more in like a city center, there could be like an aquarium tank with like the glowing algae. It's kind of like an ambiance thing that it's like just for Lumen,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
I will attempt to make a note of that, but
Okay, I don't know how to word that in a
no,
better way.
it's fine. It's not you. It's me that I have to like write on my phone. Uh, yeah. No,
If
this
I
is
can have a secondary thing, go ahead.
absolutely. Go ahead.
If I could have a secondary thing, I would like her to start doing research into like having like that more universal antitoxin that she wants to work on.
Yeah. Well, with the
Because we
lab,
agreed that that
that's
wouldn't be something for the
yeah.
that
With the
wouldn't be
lab is
something to like,
actually much more feasible now.
produce. Yeah.
Okay. And what has the Rian been doing personally for the last couple of months?
Well, phew, I think
Would
she
we
would
have talked
definitely.
about Peter?
I'm not sure if Ria's in the emotional mindset to talk about Peter, but she would mostly be because there's nothing she can really do in that regard. She can't really fight for him or find anything out, but she would definitely be looking out for rumors in that regard because of things that she learned, and of course, and helping out with Haiti's situation if that continues forward. Um, making sure our reputation is completely destroyed by this whole thing, and making sure communication with other houses stays at least cordial enough that they would not immediately throw our mail in the bin once we reach out to them. And I'm not too sure if the bakery has gone any differently or has gained any popularity with the festival in any way.
Absolutely. The problem is you are still running at a deficit. So the
Mm,
money you're kind of making from it, even now, it's
mm.
still just barely covering expenses.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
I would
But
say though, give it like 1 or 2 years, and it might start actually making a profit, like
mm,
enough to add wealth on the house stat sheet.
gotcha. So yeah, she mostly mainly we do like keeping her ear to the ground about rumors and information, the Haiti situation and the communication with the house. And there are, like I said, damage control is not wrong. Yeah, you're right, Keel.
Yeah, well, listen, the conspiracy is going fine. Don't
Hmm.
worry.
A conspiracy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you eventually. We'll tell you eventually. It's wild, man.
But yeah, as we set the scene as well, recently you get it's a bright and early morning for you, Freya, as you get up. It's the beginning of the 1st of June. This year has been much more well, calm, although last year's beginning was also kind of fine, but it finally things seem to have started like settling into a rhythm as you kind of have went through this. You have now more of a fixed schedule from dealing with administrative duties, political duties, spending some of your free time maybe with Alvar and just taking things one at a time. No more life-threatening situations. No more big bombastic schemes seem to be unwavering. unraveling around you. Everything seems to be fine. Um, as you do get in the morning a letter that, well, I guess you would all know about this. Um, Finally, Lady Nyx has given birth to a new son, a new member of the household. As the messenger just came in this morning, and I think the three of you would be the first ones to be notified, and by that I mean Freya, Rian, and Naira.
That is wonderful news. You
As
should prepare a gift.
yeah, you kind of like have breakfast if you want to like discuss these things over. As at the breakfast, I feel like Alvar and Gary would also attend.
Mhm.
Ah, this well, my Lady Freya, how are you feeling with the news of your new sibling?
I I'm feeling great. I mean, it's great to have a new member of the family.
Do you wish to send a gift back, or maybe visit, or a word at the very least?
Yeah, both, absolutely. I would love to visit them.
Yeah, I hope we'll get to meet him soon.
Yes, I'm excited. Had to wait so long for him.
Ah, then we shall send out a message back to House Nix and ask if they are allowing guests to congratulate their new addition.
It would be lovely, yes.
There we go. I have found a
Uh,
name for you, Red. Nikolaus.
Nicholas.
Nicholas
Nicol-
Nix.
Yeah, Nicholas Nix. I was gonna say.
I thought you hated alliteration.
I do. We'll see how long he lives.
No! Okay, this baby is now under Naira's care. There's a spook doctor on call. That is her gift. She's gonna be a fairy godmother.
Put that there.
I hate this sticker.
That's our house symbol. How dare you?
It's not our house symbol.
Might as well become.
it could be.
It could be.
The
Uh,
question, the question is though, what we gonna give them as a present.
hmm. Well, honestly, knowing Lady Nyx, I'm not too sure would be appropriate. You would know your father very well, so something that he would like as well for his child.
I mean, I don't know what exact. I mean, I never thought of it. I mean, clothes would seem too basic.
A blanket, possibly.
Yes, or maybe some jewelry.
Freya, what about one of your stories? You like reading about history. Do we have anything that could be his as he grows up?
Maybe I can find something. Something about the planet. I should have something about it.
I was gonna say I also want to add that the letter, of course, included like an invite to kind of like at their estate for all of you, of course.
Ah, nice.
So,
I'll have a look through my library.
I'm sure the Lady Nyx and Lady and Lord Nyx will appreciate the gesture regardless. You are family,
Yes, but I still want to give the young boy something he can remember
of
us
course.
by.
Alvar kind of like speaks up and says, "I'll help you after breakfast if you wish, my lady, to find something entertaining and memorable."
Yes, I would. I would love that. And she smiles.
Naira does whatever the Dune equivalent of hiding behind the newspaper is at the breakfast table.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
smiling.
Rian just like
he'll
looks at Naira. Yeah.
he'll return the smile, of course. As I assume then everyone has noticed that the two of them have been getting closer and closer.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be
Mission
hard
success.
not to.
Yeah.
Peter's last assignment completed. Yeah, mission success.
We are just
Nature.
we'll just let it bloom and blossom.
Mac, don't say finished until we cross the line. Let's calm down.
That is
Fumbles
true.
have been made.
Let's let nature take its course, and but if it
Yeah.
fails, then let's intervene only. For now, it's going well. No need for assistance.
I assume, knowing Lady Nyx, this isn't going to be a large affair,
No,
just a
no.
small gathering.
Most likely.
Okay.
You're invited
Does it
as
say
your
when?
family.
Does
It's
it say
as
when
soon
we're
as
invited
you
to the island?
wish. There's no like fixed
Okay.
date. It's just kind of like a hey, drop by when you can. We would love to host you.
Ah, lovely. Well, my lady, whenever you are ready and able, I will send word back for our arrival at the very least.
Yes. I'm going to look for a present afterwards, and think then we're ready to go.
Very well then.
Do we have anything that we need to do before we go?
Nothing that demands your attention. If there's something else you wish to do.
As of
Nope.
right now, yep. Yeah, my schedule's clear enough for a visit to a new House Nix member. So
Then yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
As
actually, I want to ask, Gary, does Gary want to go? Because he's not necessarily part of the family, but I think we would ask Lord Alvar and Gary if they wanted to come with, because I feel it'd be rude to just have this conversation without saying something.
Yeah, you get your buddy. If you desire a present, yeah, I can be there if you wish so.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
You
Gary.
you are part of the house now.
Yeah.
Family affair. It's a bit of a
Yes.
family affair.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
that's what it
Gary. Listen, business opportunities. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's still a Cassia meeting that there was.
I can't wait for Gary to get confused by what's the city's name?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's a
I'll
good
try to
point.
understand it actually now.
That's a good point. I feel like Gary would have visited Cassia in the time skip, unless you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I mentioned at the start long ago. Yeah.
I
Sorry
completely glossed over it, so yeah, my bad.
I'm sorry. So sorry for skipping right now in time.
So that's a good point. Would you have helped Cassia establish, like, or procure Malenkov investments for her city?
Ooh. I don't want to meta game here, but
Listen, this benefits both you, her, and the corporation. That's clear to me.
yeah, yeah. You know what? I hope this doesn't come to bite me. But Gary, but
As a
Gary would.
wise
There's
man
no
once
reason.
said, you can try and step around the hole, but then you realize the room is just full of holes.
That is true.
There
yeah.
is, in fact,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
floor.
yeah. That is. It is just the whole thing. No, yeah, I'm not mad again. No, Gary would definitely invest some, a bit of do Eurovia, get some
yeah,
stuff going from Malenkov.
yeah, you help her. Listen, now she's your contact. Like, you can reach out, you can ask favors. She's
Yeah, I'm sure the
definitely-
Malenkov board also appreciates of Gary's proactive
absolutely.
moves. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Listen, maybe we can cast you on side, but this is the grand strategy that doesn't concern us. Yeah. Yeah.
I assume Alvar would like to come as well.
Yeah, he's too polite
Oh.
to invite himself, but he will.
You just meet the rest of our family for reasons. Don't worry, Alvar.
Introduce him to that. Damn, should be like, this guy for real.
Look, he wants his daughter to be happy. Can't.
He truly
We did the
does.
best we could.
That is true. Yeah. He will not judge.
Unlike
openly.
unlike
It's going to
Alexei,
hurt him though.
listen, that's the difference. Because unlike Alexei, Alvar's not an actual idiot. So that's like
he's just slightly naive, but that's it.
he's not naive. He just
He has
ha-
strong morals.
He has
Yes,
more
yeah.
principled. He's very principled.
He's very principled. No, Alexei's naive. This guy's just very principled.
Yep.
Okay. I see.
He still
So
would
that's
suck
Alexei
as a
too, think, but
nobleman, but listen, not everyone needs to like handle the political scheming. This is why you have advisors.
Yep.
yeah, Gary, you get what it's, you know. Talking to more no. Maybe I can get something going in the fucking their city.
Flashback of every Knicks person we've met so far. Yeah,
Gary
sure,
has not. Gary has not seen the city yet for himself.
No.
He's like, how
Have
bad
fun
can it be?
talking to them.
Okay.
How bad can it be?
Gary. Quick, no one say anything and let him find out.
I know. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Let's be a surprise.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You and then as breakfast ends, Freya, you go with Alvar to your kind of like library. Now this place has been severely expanded, rebuilt, one might say. It's now a proper noble's house. Has many more rooms, many more floors. It's not like prestigious. There's still clearly unfinished bits. Uh, but it's definitely looks much more imposing and much more befitting someone of your status. And yeah, you walk with Alvar in your library as he like kind of like starts looking through some books and says, maybe some fairy tales. Too
Yes.
generic.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe something for when he is going up. Maybe stories about another planet.
I think there was a book about um, how Ashar was a few hundred years ago, and he'll like go around trying to like find it. Picks one of the books from the shelf. So it's a bit of a dusty tome, but still looks like it's gonna hold together. It's like kind of like shows it to you. It's it's not titled very eye-catching as it's kind of like titled Planetary Report year. What year would it be? Year 10,000. So it's kind of like if you like open it and flip through the pages, yeah, like basically goes to like a rundown of the different cities, different biomes, any problems, how like certain marine life, certain like kind of like fauna and flora. Just kind of like has like an overview of the planet, how it was 188 years ago.
I mean, that's definitely something he's gonna like when he's older. Hopefully. Should we add another? Should we add a second book, like something he's gonna read when he's young?
Well, I mean, do you have any suggestions?
Hmm.
There was a I remember I saw it somewhere. He like again goes around, kind of like checks the shelves, eventually picks out another book, And as he like shows it to you, this one's again like very old and dusty, not the best maintained books. It says what's the English word? Google Translate on my phone. Lovely. Oh, come on, you must have a. Oh my. Okay. Apparently no.
An
It
epic, a
does.
drama? Are you looking? What are you looking for?
How isn't? Don't you have like a specific word for? I guess fable, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Fables are
It's
words,
like
mythologies,
it's like
fairy tales.
stories. It's a set of stories that,
To teach a lesson,
yeah, they teach a
like
lesson, but it's
a
not
theme,
obvious, and it's you usually do it through like hidden meanings. It's
That's
like
not like,
fables.
Aesop's fables. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Yes.
the lion with the thorn in its paw and that kind
Mm-hmm.
of stuff.
The Crow and the Fox.
yeah.
Yeah,
Frog
fables
and the
and stuff.
scorpion.
So yeah, it's a book full of fables. There's always I remember reading this when I first got here, and I think some of them are quite interesting.
Just gonna go through the book and looks up to him. Think that's perfect.
You'll kind of like smile and nod.
And we have our present for the young boy. And she's gonna wrap those two books up.
Yeah, as you prepare the gift. Um, Meanwhile, what's everyone else doing, if anything?
I think Naira was preparing for reports, more likely getting ready for well, for our visit for the house sticks. Maybe I'm not sure they wanted us to send word before we sent, but I assume it'd be polite to do so.
Yeah, I assume you do send a reply of letting them know when
Mm.
you're plan on arriving.
Yeah.
You have now a shuttle port. You can just take a shuttle directly there. Amazing.
Ah, modern technology.
Sponsored by Malenkov Corp.
Goodness.
It is it is the big logo on their side.
There
Yeah, I
is
see the logos on the
yes,
side.
there are logos on it, but it's fine. It's not too tacky.
I don't have anything that I'm planning right now.
I would bring cake, but I feel like Lady Nix would stab me immediately, so I'm not gonna do that.
I don't know if a baby can eat cake.
I don't know. She's just like poisoned.
Fucking arrest you immediately. Assassination attempt.
You know what? She's right to be paranoid.
As yeah, then you you send a message. You prepare the gift. You prepare the travels. Um, and off you go. A couple of days later, everything is set as you depart on a shuttle from your newly constructed shuttle port directly to the city of Akrai. As you land there, you have like well, it's how many people? It's the four of you. There's Enrico and there's Alvar, so six people. Did you take any more guards with you?
Do we? I actually, Freya, would you want to have more guards with us on our way to visit family, House Nix?
I'm not sure if it would seem rude to bring one.
We have Enrico.
You do have Enrico
Yes.
with you.
Yeah. Nick's are friends, yeah. Plus there's Enrico there for anything more.
Enrico, like the best swordsman on the planet, unironically.
I think I think Enrico is Nathius. I think it would be rude to get even more guards, so it would seem that the city is not protected.
Yeah, as you head down, there's like a car waiting for you to drive as they kind of like see there's six of you and one of the guards kind of like uh, nods to the other one, and then will approach you and says, "We're getting a second vehicle immediately, my lady. If in the meantime, some of you wish to head for the estate."
Lady Freya, I'm fine with staying behind. I think it's best you have a chance to see your father and Lady Nyx beforehand, so I can wait while a second car comes.
I can stay as well.
It's a family affair, so and that should be your day.
Well,
Everybody's
just
gonna
all
stay back.
leaving. Never mind. I'll go
Actually,
with Freya then. I'll
I
go with
think,
Freya.
I was
yeah, I
gonna
think.
say
Yeah, 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 yeah. Garrett say,
the car can fit
Mhm.
4 of you.
Grant intervened.
Look, I'm fine with Freya, Alvar, Enrico, and Naira going because
Yeah.
if something happens to her, that's the one they need to save.
That sounds good.
Okay, yes. See you soon.
Of course. Have fun.
I will definitely have.
As yeah, the 4 of you get in the car, start driving. Rian, you're there left with Gary waiting. As there's still 2 guards with you. It's kind of like this area is kind of like traveled. It's kind of like there's other people going about. As eventually, like 5 minutes later, a second vehicle kind of like stops in front. As the guards will open the doors for you.
Uh, Rian would get in, thanking them politely, of course, before stepping inside.
Yeah, I will say this. Even just at like the kind of like this sort of, I will call it an airport area because this is kind of how it feels. Gary, this city doesn't seem that well lit to you. Maybe it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just there's not that many lights, and as it's kind of getting darker, it's becoming more obvious. You would expect kind of like lights to illuminate, especially like this well-traveled and circulated area. There's nothing of the sort. It's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, you do get into the vehicle, the both of you, as you start driving through the city. And by God, Gary, that's when you start seeing it as you leave the sort of area where this is kind of like it's still the buildings are normal and everything, but it's starting to start you start to see it, and eventually it becomes much more obvious. The asymmetry, the mismatch of elements, the confusion starting to be noticeable. Um, and it's at that point where the kind of like the car takes like a left turn on one of the streets, and everything just almost like immediately plunges into darkness. Like the light around you just almost like fades as you turn on like a sort of dark street, much more narrower, and the buildings are just kind of like seemingly warped around that street. And even like as you look down on the pavement, it's just you realize like you spot at least like two at this point as you like pass them by, two clear optical illusions meant to give like if someone's walking a fake sense of depth. This is becoming quite annoying, so I'm not sure how Gary is dealing with such things. It's up to you, but you can definitely see how painful the city would be for someone.
Don't look out the window. Fuck that shit.
As you just see like Gary
Problem
suddenly
solved.
stared back in the car. The car's straight, it's arranged. Um, until you realize, Gary, even the car, there's like, you think
Damn.
the roof is maybe tilted off to
There's
one
no
side,
escape.
and then
You're
there's
never
like,
getting out of
yeah,
here.
if you like look at it, there's like one kind of like metal piece that's kind of like protrudes randomly for no reason. I, at least the seat is straight, so you kind of like lean back and just kind of like rearranges itself and it's like slides, and now it's at an incline level. Rian, you definitely start noticing these things too, but you've been here more often. This is not the treatment you usually get, at least not in the car, and the city doesn't become warped so soon. It usually there's that there's like a dedicated tourist area that's somewhat normal. And then only if you like start to veer off into like it's kind of like side alleys, that's when you start entering the actual city. This looks like the actual city, which is
Hmm.
this you never took this road.
Do we see her drive at all? Do we
There's
can tell who it is,
like a
or
black metal kind of like black glass kind of like screen. You can communicate with them through.
I'm not sure how much a guard would even know. Yeah, I think Rianne would ask the guard, has there been a change in um, of the path we've usually take essentially, or has there been an update to the city? I don't think the guard would necessarily tell me that, but she would at least try.
As she kind of asks that, there's like a distorted voice that comes through the other end of the screen. It says, only a temporary detour. Um,
Oh no.
yeah.
Rianne, very well, thank you. She leans back and
Luckily for you,
looks
Gary,
at
you've
Gary.
never done this, so you don't know if this is like normal or just like another security measure.
I see the Nixus love to give a warm welcome.
Yes, the warmest of welcomes. What have I? Do I have an asset for a weapon? No, I do not. Damn it, Rianne. Um, she is a bit worried, but she is trying to. She's gonna keep her cool here, as she doesn't want to freak out for well, with Gary in the car, and there's nothing she can really necessarily do if she tries to leave this car. It's just, yeah, you know what? I'm just being nervous. You're right.
Yeah, the car drive lasts for like another 10 minutes before the car stops. You hear like a door opening as the doors to your kind of like passenger side also like slide open. And yeah, there's it's very dark. As you realize you're underneath some sort of structure that's kind of like blocking all sort of natural light from the outside. If you like look down, it's kind of like almost pitch black darkness. The only kind of like soft light being provided by some of the cars inside lights that don't illuminate too much outside of it. Um, there is almost no sound. Don't hear anything else. No footsteps, no people, no guards, no chatter, nothing.
Ooh. I think Rianne would step out, mostly because, like I said, she would either ask the guard, like, "Are we supposed to step out?" or assume that's what they
There,
were intended to do.
there is no response if you ask the guard anything. You
She
did
will.
hear his door being open and closed, so
Okay. This is Gary. This is. I will let you know. This is not the norm for us. I'm afraid that we are a bit in a. I wouldn't say hostage situation. Seems very alarming, but we're not necessarily safe right now. She will look at Gary to let him know the situation. At least give him some.
Is this what always happens? Is this?
Absolutely not.
so as you kind of like lightly step outside, it's a bit hard to you kind of like see some of the pavement, and as you kind of like step, your feet immediately just kind of like go through as you realize it's just some sort of liquid. It's just kind of like mostly muck, and the floor is actually way deeper. So you kind of like stumble a bit, but manage to like regain your balance immediately, as that was apparently just a pothole, a well placed pothole.
Yeah, I'm
Whoever
sure it
parked
was
in front of
unintentional.
this, yeah, this is not. There are coincidences, but this doesn't feel like one of them. And as you kind of like stumble into the darkness, you can only like hear the distorted voice. Is he in the know or not?
I assume Gary was with us at the meeting. Was that the case, or was he not there?
What meeting?
What, you mean the conspiracy meeting? No, what the fuck? No.
Okay,
No.
don't freak out me. I'm
Oh,
trying to
no.
remember. I don't
Okay,
have
no.
all my
The
notes in front of me right
conspiracy
now.
meeting, no.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. No, he has not been made aware.
Well, I'll leave that up to you. I hate people.
I'm sure it's a very common thing for you at the very least, sir. Is there a particular reason why you wish to speak with me?
Well, running out of time. You better do your part and cause you either finish what you started or you cause some sort of incident. You have less than half a year at your disposal, probably even fewer than that.
Hmm.
Couple of
All right,
months,
well,
maybe.
I shall make sure the right people are made aware of that then. Thank you, good sir.
Wait here.
Is
Somebody should come and find you.
uh, sir, I want to ask if you know anything if about Peter.
Still alive,
Uh,
for whatever that means.
Ah, thank you
None
then.
of the operations were leaked. So that's something.
She nods.
And then silence. Kind of like presumably go back inside to like sit down in a much like at least an illuminated space, not this pitch black darkness.
Yeah, I assume my shoes are ruined.
Yeah. There's grime on them.
Do not get his deal. She like sits down in the car after I'm not sure how Gary feels about this. Sorry, Gary.
Gary, no, I assume Gary heard about Nix's hospitality. So you know what?
Yes.
Probably just a security checkup or whatever for him. That's his scope currently. Trying to maintain a straight face.
Well, you know what, Gary? When we get back home, I'll introduce you to one of my favorite cakes. I think you will enjoy it.
I've heard stories about them, but I see. Stories cannot do justice to them.
Ah, yes, it is quite a. It's only you can only understand it once you've lived it, right?
I've been to many places, but none as paranoid, secure. I mean, as this.
It's best not to try to unravel the mystery. It's more of a headache than it's worth.
I mean, I've got a headache just from looking around here. Not even trying to think, but let's hope the palace will be at least nice.
It is she just doesn't know. She gives you a look of pity.
This shit ain't the tourist top.
It you'll understand once you see it, though. Don't be afraid to never go off alone.
Oh, oh, don't you worry. I'll stay in the building. I don't think they appreciate people wandering here.
Yeah, there's a tourist section, of course, but even then, I'm hesitant to go without proper guards or at least someone to navigate properly.
Oh, as you're kind of like sitting there, but like takes about 10 minutes before like you hear very vague shouting as suddenly there's no like transition. There's suddenly noise all around you as you hear like probably guards by the way they're talking as one of them immediately goes inside the car to like check up on you too. Is everything all right here?
Uh, yes, I'm not too sure what happened, but
Uh,
we didn't want to move.
when we got to when we got to the port and you weren't there, we got worried. He like steps inside, kind of like gestures for some of his colleagues. Two of them get into the kind of like driver's part of the vehicle, and the car starts moving again. As the guard says, I think we've had a security breach. Somebody was trying to kidnap you."
Oh, that is alarming in itself. I'm surprised, but happy to see that you are here.
I'm glad you're unharmed. We shall report this to Lady and Lord Nix. I'm sure they will be able to pay compensation for the misfortune.
Uh, I do not wish to alarm to cause undue stress to Lady Nix as well with this momentous occasion at the very least.
Well, he just nods. Meanwhile, in the other car, Freya, Naira, and Rico and Alvar. Is the kind of like as the car starts driving and starts leaving the tourist area, Alvar's kind of like watching out the window. And it's like I've heard the rumors, but I've never. This is quite the interesting approach to architecture.
Yes, you can call it interesting, but it's also dangerous. Don't wander off alone.
How
Stay
did
with the
they?
group.
I don't plan to. I'm just kind of looks at one of the buildings. How's that even standing at that angle? What in the? Kind of like moving on. Then like he also kind of like backs away from the window, just kind of like leans in the chair. His doesn't incline because the driver isn't an asshole in this one. Um, and he just kind of like looks at you and says, "Are they as friendly as their reputation says? Should I know of anything not to say, not to do?"
I mean, they're not really talkative, so conversations are not really their strength. It got better for the last year, but be careful about them, about what you say. In general, they're still spies.
Well, I have nothing really to hide, so I feel like I make a very poor target for them.
That's glad to hear, I guess.
Well, I mean, I suppose you must be uh, excited. I mean, you are your it's your half brother, so
Yes, I am definitely excited. I mean, I always wanted a brother, so that's great. I I'm glad my father's happy as well.
I'm happy for you. I didn't know how hard the last year must have been for you and probably for him as well. It's it's good to see that some moments of happiness can happen even in dark times.
Yes, there's been a lot of happy times lately, so I'm glad. Yes.
He'll kind of like smile and like just kind of like gently put his hand on yours and kind of like squeeze it gently.
Gonna squeeze it as well.
I was just
And
looking out the window, trying not to get a headache.
Enrico's like staring at this, eagle-eyed. I'm not gonna miss. If he like pulls out the dagger, he's like dead.
What if it's got a face dancer?
Honestly, listen, how many times is that too much?
Master, enough, Master Kosh else.
Master Kosh is like, I will win everyone's heart.
They will. No, it's just Master Kosh who face crafted himself. They
They're
will
like,
learn to love me.
They send all the face dancers to your university. Teach me romance, master. Teach me.
It's like Rings of Power with Sauron. He just wants love. He
Oh
just wants
god
someone
damn
to
it.
fix them.
That's true. Maybe Master Kosh was. Maybe if someone didn't say no to him, he wouldn't have ended like this. Uh, Master Kosh is
Master Kosh the
misunderstood.
incel.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
He said women won't sleep with me, I'll turn them into tanks.
Yeah, that's the entire Bennett election. It's
they,
fine.
they reject him at prom night.
But yeah, so you eventually arrive at the noble residence as and kind of like as you get down, you can see that the guards are a bit in a sort of upheaval, and you look back, there is no second car.
Um,
Uh, they said that the second car is right behind us, right? Or should be.
that's what
Right
I
behind.
remember hearing.
Yeah, like one of the guards kind of like immediately approaches you and says, uh, "My lady, we were told to escort
Yes.
you to Lady and Lord Nix. If you would please follow us."
Uh, I would like to wait for the other car.
He
There has to be a second one.
looks back
Freya,
at like
you
his
go ahead.
colleague, says, "The other car has suffered an unfortunate delay, and they will be arriving in about half an hour."
Oh God. Um, I can't wait that long. Naira, would you be so kind and wait for them?
Of course, you go ahead, meet your family.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm just gonna go.
yeah. So you head out. You walk with the others. As Naira, you're left alone with some. I mean, the guards are still around,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like in the kind of like outer courtyard in the front. As you see the three of them walk inside, as being escorted. Freya, as you walk through the house, Alvar's sticking very close to you. The house, for someone who's never been here for the first time, can be quite intimidating. The amount of fake walls and again, tricks of depth and other things like that can make navigating through the poorly illuminated space a bit harder. But you eventually reach the main lobby area as you do see like the entire like Nyx family, including, well, your half brother that is being currently held by a Lady Nyx in her arms as he is sleeping.
Freya's gonna bow before them and says, "Congratulations, both of you."
She actually smiles as yeah, your father is also like just a beaming smile, nods, says thank you. Um, where is everyone else? As she kind of like looks at Damocles, he like grimaces and says, some unfortunate accidents on the road. Um, why don't you take our guests to their rooms and I'll go outside and see how things are progressing." As Anicia will nod and kind of like gesture for you to follow her. She's kind of like starts walking towards the guest rooms.
He would follow.
As yeah, she'll lead you to your guest rooms and says, "I think we'll be having a small dinner in about an hour. It's enough time to put the little one to sleep."
Yes, thank you for the invitation. Glad you thought of us.
Of course, your family now, and family
Yes,
sticks together.
absolutely. I hope he sleeps well.
I hope so too.
See you in 1 hour.
As yeah, you get left um, alone as you enter your own rooms. Meanwhile, Naira, you're waiting outside. You see Damocles exiting and kind of approaching you. He's also kind of like looking towards the street and says, "Still haven't arrived yet, I see."
Nothing yet. But they did assure us that they're on the way.
Yes, we got we re-established contact. It's fine. It just takes a bit.
That's good. Do you know why they lost contact in the first place?
Not exactly sure. I was told some sort of misunderstanding. Not really
That's
sure. Yeah,
highly unusual here.
it is, which is why I'm concerned. But as long as they're safe and back on track, I feel like could have been worse if they got lost somehow in the city.
Right. Hopefully, Rianne and Gary will have a bit more reassurances for us.
He nods. It's kind of like waiting. It says, "So I hear you finished the lamp. How's that going out for them?"
Oh, yeah, it's honestly really nice to have a space like that. As much as I appreciated the space that I did have, in the downstairs
Quite.
area.
The basement was quite modest. Hope the new facility is
It
treating you better.
was, and thank you. I am really looking forward to making full use of it. But yeah. How are you feeling? The new child.
It's been a
It's a,
busy month.
I bet.
Things are gonna be. I think they'll still be hectic for a while, but I can't
I
complain too
imagine
much.
with a newborn, anything other than hectic would be a godsend.
She'll like smile. Eventually, as you keep waiting. Not sure if Gary would have any conversations with Rihanna on the road back.
So, did this already happen once before?
Before? No, no. Before we took our travel by air to make our way towards the city, I believe. We this will be like our second visit, right? Or at least for Rian, it's her third, but for everyone else, it'll be our second visit.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Rihanna
Maybe?
would be third. For Rihanna would be a third because she was twice.
Yeah, Rian's third.
Yeah.
Yeah, for everybody else second, and for Gary
I thought
first.
so.
Gary
Yeah,
and Oliver.
this is our second visit here officially as House Kairos. And so the first time was very much prim and proper and guards with us 24/7. We also had a smaller party. So no, it is not a normal occasion.
Did you see also the wannabe thief?
Not
Stepped outside.
no. I didn't get a look at the face at all. Although my shoes did feel the pain.
The guard
Oh, yes,
actually like
of course.
takes a note and says, "I should have said something." Like he like pulls out of a kind of like a separate compartment underneath one of the chairs. He actually like produces a pair of boots and just kind of like hands them to you.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
I just have a spare ready.
They're your size perfectly, Rian.
I know. She'll be very surprised. Well, I can't say House Nix isn't prepared for everything.
They're adjustable, okay?
They're moddable for efficiency.
Yeah, these
would
are
think
not, by the way, these are not like normal clothes. These are clearly like
Army boots.
Yeah, like they're made, and you can like take them, and the guard says, in the meantime, you shouldn't walk with your feet wet, my lady.
Thank you, kind sir. Thank you. She will definitely put those on and put the other ones, I guess, in whatever they would decide would be proper trash bag. I don't care.
Yeah, well, at least you're not gonna, because I was just gonna say you do have like your feet was like drenched in this grimy substance.
Yeah.
That was starting to like harden, and the guard was looking a bit worried. Now he's much more relaxed
Oh,
that
that's
you.
why they have these.
That's
Okay,
why
that makes more sense.
much more relaxed now that you're like not wearing those shoes again. It's like,
Is there a particular material, something particular about the material I stepped in?
he like looks at you and says, "Well, I'm not at liberty to say, my lady, but it would have become a severe inconvenience once it got a bit drier."
Well, I owe you much then. Thank you.
He like nods and says, merely doing my duty."
Yeah. Lady Rihanna, I assume we're gonna keep quiet about this event and not worry the others.
I think we should keep it not as full out of proportions, especially since it ended so well. But I will have to report to Dola Damocles regardless. Our Lord.
Of course, yeah, of course. I mean, I assume the authorities clearly already know, since let's not ruin the mood.
Yes, we are here to celebrate the birth of a new member, so I do not wish to bring down the mood, as they say.
Yeah, it's a simple some troubles on the road.
Simple troubles on the road. Yes.
Yeah. Eventually, you arrive, Naira. You see the second vehicle arrive as they kind of get out, and yeah, there's Rian and Gary. Rian is wearing an interesting pair of shoes, but
Ah,
It's nice to see that you guys are okay.
we apologize for keeping you up, Lord Damocles, Lady Naira. Thank you.
Damocles just shakes and says, "No, it's quite all right. I'll have to take a detailed statement from the both of you. But anyone suffered any sort of injuries?" As he like glances towards between like you and Naira.
Other than an unfortunate step into a unknown puddle, nothing too severe.
He grimaces. Ah, I've been there. Don't worry, nothing permanent. It is the smell though. Oof. And like the
Well,
guard just kind of like shakes his head, says, "No, this wasn't one of the smelly ones, sir." Then Damocles looks at Urian and says, "Ah, it could have been worse."
I'm beginning to realize as well.
The acid pothole burns your feet off.
Listen,
They were just like, okay.
your sense of smell is an important one. We need to fuck with that too. We need to mess with everything.
The fucking Mickey Mouse Looney Tunes trap doors all on the road.
As Damocles looks at you, Nara, and says, "You must be tired after the journey. Some of the guards will escort you to your room. I'll make sure to get the statements from Rian and Gary, and I'll send them afterwards. Dinner should be in less than an hour."
Right, of course.
As
I can tell when I'm being dismissed.
Yeah, he's clearly kind of like hushing this as yeah, Rian, you're led to like a separate room. As Gary, you're like led into another room as Damocles stays with you. And the room again, as you kind of like are led through the house, the carnival of horrors unfolds before you. As this is not the place you want to wander, honestly. You're not even sure how like these people must have memorized everything, and it's a lot of things. Um, so you can definitely imagine that this building hard to sneak. Maybe it's easy to sneak in, but definitely hard to sneak out, and very hard to navigate. But
You
you
know what?
are,
If the wannabe cut wanted to run away, he wouldn't be able to run away.
yeah, he wouldn't unless he was intimately familiar with this place. Um, as you get led into a separate room from Rihanna, and Damocles kind of like sits down at a table with you on the other side, pulls out like some one of the guards will hand him like a dossier file and just leaves the two of you alone. Says, "So Mr. Goldman, Would you mind walking me through what just happened so I can verify certain events?
I am an. Well, I wasn't really aware of what was going on. We waited at the shuttle port. We got into a car. We drove into a different part of town outside of the what I assume is the more the well-lit areas. We were in front of a dark building, which I assume to be probably some kind of a garage, considering there were there other cars in there, like other car lights.
No, it was completely pitch black. The only
Oh, never
light
mind.
was the lights from
Oh,
inside
from
your
the
own
car
car.
itself.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. We were in a dark place. And I don't know what kind of building it was. Rian took a step outside. We waited for a bit, and then the guards approached us
I see.
and
Like,
explained the situation to us.
very well. Well, luckily nobody was hurt, but I hope this doesn't make a too poor of an impression of our city. Um, so I do have to apologize on behalf of House Nix for this gross misconduct. I will have. Hmm?
At least your security was there on short notice, and I doubt that the wannabe kidnapper would have gotten far.
He like nods and
No offense
says,
taken.
he like nods. There's not uh, none taken. He like gestures, goes to the door, opens it, and asks one of the guards to escort you to your own room. Says, feel free to freshen up a bit. The dinner will be in about half an hour. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Goldman.
I suppose, my lord.
As Rian, you're kind of waiting in the room as the door kind of like opens and you well, see none other than Lord Hades himself walk in.
I think has Rian kept in contact with Lord Hades since the meeting from last time, or is this like the
I
second
would
time I've
s-
seen him?
I would say maybe, but it's very like sparse.
Hmm.
Maybe like two or three messages at most,
Okay,
because you do have to keep it
Oh,
kind of like on the down low, because there's no official affiliation between Hades and Kairos.
understood. Uh, Lord Hades, surprised to see you.
He like closes the door behind him and says, "Are you really though?"
I'm trying to pretend to be, but apparently things are moving in a certain direction.
Well, I asked the man to give you a message. I didn't realize he would make this big of a deal out of it.
Mm.
So I do have to apologize. He's not what you would call a people person.
He said the same thing, at the very least. And it is fine. I understand that being delicate is not everyone's specialty, so at least I'm not dead, so positivity.
No, you are quite important to this scheme, unfortunately. So no rest for you. I kind of like chuckle a bit and it's like sits down and like says, "Well, I'm not sure if he told you anything, but the time schedule has been moved up a bit. I haven't been able to hear any sort of rumors from the jail cells. I don't even know if the man's still alive in there, but none of our
At
operations
least,
have been leaked, so
mm,
that gives me the idea that might still be alive. I feel like that would be foolish of them to just kill him.
at least our mysterious messenger had stated that he believes that he is alive. So not too much sure, not sure how much weight that carries, but
I'm gonna be very frank with you, my lady. I would rephrase that as I hope he is still alive. There is no confirmation, and I haven't heard any word for the last 3 months. their security has changed and I've lost my man on the inside.
See, I don't think Rianne would outwardly react to that,
Yeah.
but she would just nod.
As
Very well
such,
then.
I must ask how are things going between your young lady, your young noble lady, and the young Helheim.
Going slow, progressing, seem to be each other and getting along well. I'm trying not to artificially force it, but yes.
Well, you have two options, in my opinion. You either speed things along, have them marry officially a month, two, maybe at most, or we put Plan B into action and, well, an accident befalls young Helheim and, well, House Draco will be blamed for it.
And this accident, would it present, how much danger does it present for young Alvar?
Fatal one, I'm afraid.
I understand then.
At
I shall
least,
nudge it.
at least debilitating one. It has to be scandalous, and it will have to involve something that they cannot take back. So I don't see a long future in his life with this option.
Very well. I understand then. I shall play my part and make sure it happens. A month, you said? 2 months?
Yeah,
Very well then. It shall be done.
feel free to expand this conspiracy and network as you wish.
Mm.
There are rumors that infiltrators are probably in every city, including yours. The
Mm.
only one that has been kept clean is this one. The device is still located inside, and most of the people are being vetted occasionally.
Mm. Very well
Everywhere
then.
else, we cannot vouch.
Very well then. I have at least one other person I would like to bring in, and I would hold off before letting Leia Freya knows, at least until I can secure her marriage with Lord Alvor.
He like nods and says, as a well, the spaceport was Loctite for a while, but well, managed to get in contact, and we have access to a small stash of funds. So if there's anything that needs emergency financing, um, feel free to make a request for 'em, and I'm sure Malenkov won't notice a couple of shipments go missing.
Hmm. Well, they've been a great help for the endeavors, so I see why they should not continue.
Like nods. I believe you have a party in about 15-20 minutes. Like stands up.
Mm. Of course. Thank you for the information, Lord Hades. I do appreciate it.
Good luck to you, Lady Rian. He'll bow and take his leave.
Mm.
As yeah, you're dismissed. There's like Damocles if you want to like chat up with him if you have questions, but otherwise,
Outside of I assume Damocles has already been put up to speed with everything, so he's aware. So, outside of her congratulating him for his new son, I don't think she would say anything else.
so who is exactly the, let's because I know Jill has to
Mm.
leave soon. So who's like who's the person you want to bring in the conspiracy?
More likely Naira, well,
Okay,
since
so
she has a big part to play. Mhm.
let's you fill up for that, Jill, just as a
Hmm.
last scene.
Yeah. I don't need to go right now, just as a warning. I
Okay,
might very suddenly need to.
no worries. So let's get out of the way first. Um, as Damocles would actually escort you, Rihanna, to your own room.
I think she would, like I said, she would tell Damocles that, not by name. She's like, I think I will speak with Lady Naira about the new information I've been given.
Well,
Can I guarantee privacy in that regard?
Absolutely, and we did the base. I did the checkup on all of them. No body doubles in this house.
Ah, good, good. Very well then. Thank you, Lord Damocles.
Like nods and kind of like takes his leave as you're like left alone outside of Naira's own room.
She would knock on Naira's door, essentially.
Yeah, Naira will answer. Hey, come on in.
Thank you, Lady Naira. It's a bit. Dinner's not too far from us, but I should speak with you. I wanted to speak with you immediately, and to explain some things and to apologize.
Okay, apologize about what?
Hmm. A few things, mainly that I didn't just request the lab for you for just because of the algae. It is a brilliant idea, of course, but I had other motives, other reasons. And well,
Okay.
I should properly explain first. It has come to my attention. It's apparently 6 months ago, really, that there is a bit of a conspiracy under Azar that has been going on without our notice. Do you remember that body, that face dancer we found essentially so long ago?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, it is something that has been going around for many houses, some far greater than our own, have been dealing with the situation unknowingly as well as well, Peter has somehow ascertained that there are face dancers amongst our midst, taking the places of other people in other houses of far regard and masquerading as them. I'm not too sure what the goal is here in that regard for them, but it has been going on for quite some time. Either they have been taking the places of houses or members of houses or infiltrating them or enslaving them necessarily to their whims. And, well, like I said, Peter has been preparing for this in that regard. And with his arrest as well, it has been left to those who are aware, which is a very small circle of few who could be trusted and who are in some contact with each other trying to work to a goal to deal with the situation. The reason why I am telling you this is because I wish to bring you into the fold, as they say. You would be a far more valuable member. Especially, well, if you can find a way to tell the difference between them and a regular person.
Yeah, you can already tell that Naira's like got the gears starting in her head.
Mm.
Okay, so find a way to identify them.
Mm.
That
This,
should be feasible, though not easy.
I understand as well as that. And it's also a very dangerous thing to ask of you, especially since the Benetalatsku are not known for being, well, they would not be happy about that. I also must make it known to you that, because, like I said, Rian's aware of everything, right? I just want to make sure before I start
Yep.
spilling secrets that should be,
Yep.
okay. Flavius Draco is a face dancer as well. And is
Shit.
a very high chance that our fears have come true and that Astrid herself was a face dancer as well.
So, how have we been able to identify that they are?
It is true, apparently. There, so far I've been told, is that Peter did bring in those Ixian devices, and they have been used, though most of them have been confiscated. I don't know if there's another method for them to find another face dancer, but at least in that regard,
No, you would
it
But
know
in the
does.
that
meantime, we
they
need
don't.
something.
The only
Mm.
method is one of those devices.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think she knows about the
reliably.
Benedict.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you would be dead if you knew.
I said I said I don't know about the Fial at all, so that's why I'm saying like she only knows about the Inixian device. She's saying like Peter did actually smuggle those devices in. He actually was arrested for that, and that
Okay.
most of them were taken. So that's she's aware that there's one left as well, right? That it
Yes, there's
exists
only
only
one
yeah.
left.
and that there is only one device left since that raid happened so long ago.
And who has the device?
It is in the care of Lord Damocles for now.
Okay. That's good.
I am. All this information could get not just us killed, but our entire house as well taken care of. So I know I have to say it, but I have to stress how important this information is not to share with anyone else. And that in the conspiracy there is Lord Damocles and a few others. I do not wish to name the names until I am given permission to do so, but they could be trusted at the very least. And well, there is also another part of the plan that includes Lady Freya as well, and Lord Alvor, in the sense that there is a wish to see those two married, or there will be a plan B.
Okay. And this relates to the face dancers. How? Which, by the way, I want to say at this point, I probably have. I know we're in Nyx right now, but Naira would have turned on the Ixian damper that she has.
Yep.
From what I'm made aware, what we need, what the conspiracy needs, we should come up with a better name. What the conspiracy needs is allies and
That's
support.
PR.
Yeah, better PR. We need allies, support, and tools to combat the Benetalaxu. We've come with a couple ideas, but through Alvor and Lady Freya's marriage, there is a chance to gain support from his house, who are powerful and also known for a certain special ability of sabotage that is useful.
I think I understand now.
I've been trying to allow Lady Freya to come into her own when it comes to Lord Alvar, but it looks like the timetable has been moved up, so I have been giving 2 months at best to ensure their match.
Okay. 2 months. Oh boy.
Yes. I
We
was
seem to have been making progress in that area at least, naturally on their own.
Yes. And it has been very wonderful to see. But after this visit here with House Nyx, I was planning to bring up the subject of marriage with Lord Alvar, though I hope it would not be too much of a giant hammer in the face of the situation, but I feel like being a bit direct is best.
This is a hard situation. I suppose it wouldn't be too unusual to ask about his plans or intentions.
Yes, I will speak with Lady Freya if that is all right.
Yeah, I think that would be okay.
I will hold off, and I plan to explain things to Lady Freya at the very least until after things have been put in a more secure spot. That way she doesn't feel too pressured to decide this marriage.
Right, we wouldn't want to force it too much. But I know this must be very anxiety inducing for you, Rianne. I will be as discreet as I can be, and above the table, one of her personality traits is discreet. So you can rest assured that I won't just go talking about this. And
I know. I completely have faith in you, Lady Naira, and having you along and this is a big relief. I do apologize, though, for the danger this will put not just you, like I said, but all of us.
Well, if this is something that's as much of a threat as it seems, it hardly seems like I'd be any more danger doing this than it would be otherwise.
Yes, at the very least. Just par for the course.
I will start thinking of possible solutions. Is there anything else that you would like me to work on in the meantime?
No. I will reach out to see if there's a chance to get samples that you can
That
take
would
a look at.
be the biggest help, I believe, for me. I have records of the previous samples I have, but they're old and I only have what I thought important at the time.
There was another member of our little club who has well, he has a plan for that, and I will reach out to him, and hopefully things will be taken care of in that regard for you.
Okay.
The raid on the
Thank
Charybdis
you.
laboratories.
Oh yeah, I think she and I would also mention like, yeah, we think House Charybdis is more likely in line with them. Not too sure of their face dancers, but yeah, they're
Internally, Naira's like, yes, I'm vindicated.
Yes.
It's just
Absolutely.
yeah. I think that is all I can for now. That is all I can think of. But if I have any more information, I will tell you immediately.
okay.
Says I'm only aware that Lord Damocles is aware what's going on. No one else and no other member of his house has the same information. So
Okay. Thank you for trusting me with this.
of course, Leonira, I'll see you at dinner.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah. As everyone kind of gets ready, and you go downstairs for the dinner event, as um, all most of the family members are there gathered, as I presume Freya will present them with the books, with the gift.
Yes.
As, yeah, um, Damocles will kind of like take them and will thank you much for them, as he'll hand them over to Lady Nyx, and she'll also smile and thank you for them, as she'll like actually like take them, and she like goes off to one of the rooms, and you can see like there's a sort of large table that has a lot of things on it, and she just kind of like places the books next to it. By a lot of things, I mean blades, knives, some sort of instruments.
Those are their gifts.
You're not really sure what they're used for. As yeah, she places them very gently next to them, and then kind of like takes a step back, looks at everything, and then like turns around. Um, and as she like does that, your dad just kind of like leans in a bit to you, Freya, and says, "I'll definitely stand out amongst the other gifts. Thank you."
Yes, I thought nice but too basic, and like clothes were not fitting enough, so I thought maybe my little brother's gonna have something I like.
Yeah, so it's only you and young Lord Vodnik that sent books, so I think it's mine needs training as well as someone's sword arm.
Definitely yes.
As yeah, and dinner starts. If there's anyone wants to say anything, broach any sort of subject.
Outside of pleasant conversation and asking how their other daughter, who I believe, yeah, the one who's married to House Alos, is doing. I'm not sure if they've been in contact or not.
I mean, yeah, they have been. She's staying. Anicia will speak up and says, yes, she is staying in Heraklion, and we write to each other every now and then, at least once a week. She's been doing
Oh.
quite fine. Damocles just kind of like, yeah, looks at you and says, yeah, no, young Lord Elias is a wonderful man. He just kind of like glances, just like a slight glance towards Freya and Alvar, kind of like at the other part of the table. If anyone wants to pick up on that other than Rian, which
Yeah.
was the intended recipient,
Mm.
you would have to roll me probably like understand, maybe even discipline.
Yeah, no. Gary wants to check him because that was his last assignment from Peter. You know. Yeah, listen. I like Peter. He had a skill issue with the smuggling. Want to fulfill the last man's wish.
So,
What specifically would we be inciting? Like, Was
It's this
the
is
look
this is more of an observation. Like, yes, if you catch that little thing he did,
an
he
Yeah,
did.
observation?
yeah.
Okay.
Can I use such focus discipline apply?
What
I mean,
focus?
observe.
Yes,
Yeah, observe. I mean,
yes.
sorry.
It's, you only have to beat his score.
Oof. Fuck. Why am I selecting somebody else again? For fuck off.
Fuck off.
Boo.
No,
There we go.
it's not enough. I need like a 3.
It's fine. Naira's thinking about science
Yeah,
right
I
now.
feel like Naira's
Well,
just like getting fucking like smacked in the face with the
God fucking
conspiracy.
damn it. God damn it.
She's writing in her notebook underneath the table.
So yeah,
Missed by 1 each.
I'm not sure if Freya wants to try and
Yeah,
spot that.
I'm trying.
Yeah, well. So yeah, Rian, you do get the hint, but Damocles just yes. It's more
Rian
of a. It's
smiles
I
and
would say
nods.
this is also more of a. Hey, how is Alvar with Freya? This is also asking. This is also saying something to you, but also asking sort of. Just tell me how they are, right? It's like, oh yeah, Lord Scott
Ah,
is a nice man, isn't he? And then he's
yeah.
kind of like,
I'll make this subtle. Thanks, Derek, please.
yes.
Yeah, he actually is being subtle as much as he can. Says, yes, Lord Aelos is a wonderful man, as well as Lord Vonda. Lord Alvar as well has a wonderful set of skills. Uh, Mr. Lord Alvar has been training with, I believe, Gary? Yes, Mr. Goldman. How have your studies been going? She kind
He
of
is
glanced.
he is a keen learner. Very motivated. I believe he'll they're currently going they're going well.
Have you been enjoying your your tutelage under Mr. Goldman, Lord Halem? Hellhound?
Yeah, he like he looks a bit he's kind of like shy at all the attention, but like he nods and says, "Yes, uh, Mr. Goldman has been an excellent teacher. I've learned a lot about detecting fraud and well, sometimes apparently there's so many ways you can manipulate the numbers to make them come out well, ostensibly good, but in reality hiding a lot of illegality. His knowledge is truly worth admiring."
Lord Alvar is a learned man, and well, the study of the mind is his best conquest, I believe, as well. I
Nods.
believe, Lady Freya, have you and Alvar been continuing your studies in the book? I assume you guys they have been like reading books together and things like that. Is that alright to say, or?
Yes, if I believe we could find them very often in the library.
A
Oh,
book club. How nice.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Lady Freya and Lord Alvar have been studying a bit of a book club as they've been going through the library at a very alarming rate.
I wouldn't call it allowing, but yes, we spend a lot of time together reading. It's great to have someone with similar interests.
You'll like kind of like nod and say yes. Lady Freya is extremely knowledgeable, and I have learned so much from her. Her insight on many subjects has provided me with endless amount of delight.
Is he getting nervous from this line of conversation at all?
Yes, I would say there is a hint of nervousness.
Okay.
My dog will just like leap onto my head right now. No, just-
Well, no, she
He
must.
wants a hug,
the
grunt.
problem is like, she's electrifying me and her, and it's like stinking. I'm like, just get away from me. It's like, no, I will just in fact jump on you.
She wants to give her a hug.
She's also upset that the other one has occupied the other half of the couch, so she doesn't have that much room to sit in. She's like she
Oh.
tried to push the black one off, She didn't really budge, and like she's now left. She's defeated. She's given up.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
How dare you?
Is this Borklock or Barklock?
Borlock is
Oh.
the one that does not give a fuck about anything and anyone. You can sit on top of her and she's not gonna move. It's like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, yeah, he's definitely getting a bit nervous, trying to maintain his composure, and he is succeeding mostly. Back from round 2, I see.
Well, at the very least, like I said, they have been quite the studious pair.
Yeah, and he helped me choose a book for my brother. He found some great ones.
And he has good taste.
Absolutely, yes.
I think if I'm not wanting to make it more awkward or force the conversation, Rianne would slowly push it towards other subjects. Ask them like, "Oh, what books you're reading and the interest as well," and bring her own thoughts to. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, you would know. At least for Freya, but there's definitely a focus on history, and Alvar is very interested in like sort of like cultural studies, like learning about the different areas and their like traditions, food, everything from like food recipes to festivals to how they dress, and how they kind of integrate with the environment, be it from like an agricultural standpoint, like a tourist standpoint, just as like how the local population has affected the fauna and flora of that area and stuff like that. As well, at least on the next side of the table, there is at least one person who's listening to this.
Is Delphia
No,
or Damocles? Oh,
Damocles.
it's
Like
Damocles.
everyone
Oh,
else is like just
oh, okay.
you recognize what the others are doing. They're practicing. They're doing the smile and nods. Like, huh, interesting.
Listen,
Interesting.
Other
they're getting
people's
better.
Just kind of like
Listen,
rubbing
Althea
the
probably
chin a
knows
bit,
now.
like, yes, yes, do tell me more. They are definitely getting better. The months of experience into acting seem to, at least they're not acting like automatons now.
I'm so proud of them.
Trying to portray
This is
actual
character
human emotions.
development.
They're learning.
They're learning.
They're learning the feels.
But yeah, and as unless there's something else you want to do.
I think I've embarrassed Albert a lot today. Anyone else?
Oh, where exactly is Alva sitting?
Next to you.
Next to Freya or
Yes.
someone?
Next to you.
Freya would slightly put her hand over his lap,
Yeah, he's
or like
gonna.
under the table.
Yeah, he's gonna put his hand over yours and just kind of like apply a bit of pressure and just kind of like keep it there, as he's like dealing with the line of questioning. He is keeping it together, but yeah, it's definitely stressing him out a bit.
Yeah, can we can I carry to start some small talk with them to divert situation from
Sure.
poor Alva?
Give me a communicate roll. Difficulty 2.
But for fuck's sake. This is not my greatest strength. Just someone else should have asked. I'm
Maybe it's
disappointing
time
people.
for Damocles to start grilling this man.
Who-
You think you get? I'm spending threat on this, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Fuck!
Oh,
Why did I ask? I don't have any focus if I have to go
You-
and communicate.
Can I help him? Can I help Mr. Goldman with
Why
this
did
one?
I ask? Why
Wait,
did I
hold on. We
ask?
don't have any momentum. I can help.
Yes, roll.
It should have been someone else.
Never
who asked.
mind.
No.
It should have been someone else
I
who asked.
cannot help.
So yeah, give me
Oh,
the
God.
roll, Mr. Goldman. Let's see.
Fuck. Shit. Fuck. God damn it.
You'll be fine.
I believe in you.
Okay, that.
Yeah, we got it.
Ooh, okay, yeah, no, it's. Yeah, go. No, just roll.
Did you
Never
roll?
mind, we will not be fine.
N-
We will not, no, I will.
Listen,
I will not even spend. I think.
I
I
had.
think
Wait, did you roll? What did you roll? I can't
no,
see
not
it.
yet.
no, yeah,
Okay, because I have an
I
advisor
rolled.
thing. So.
Yeah, I rolled.
Ah.
I have 5 communicate. I have no focus. There is no chance. Even if I spend like
I
6 spreads, ribbon
I
someone else. Yeah,
believe in
fuck.
you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe you, Goldman. Do it.
Go, do
I
it,
think you
Goldman.
can. I think you can reroll one dice with your
Fine,
advisor on.
Goldman.
Yeah, I have an advisor role, so I'm here for you, man.
Yeah. Can I basically does power count? Does my statement state there are no price for playing fair? To basically try to get him out of the situation.
No, I don't feel like that's.
Well, no, nope. All right then.
You are
Yeah, there's
playing
no
this
hope.
about as much as like you're playing this very. There's no like cheating in this.
All right then. Then I think we'll be duty to help out as understudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fits. Yeah, 2d7. Right then.
It's fine. I
Listen,
believe in
maybe
you.
I'll get 2 crits.
Yeah.
He probably rolled 4 successes, so it doesn't
So
work.
Look, let me celebrate.
as you thank God, Goldman. As you realize,
What?
Damocles' like line of questioning becomes like increasingly aggressive, but at some point it kind of like passes the line of just like casual talk and just starts looking like an interrogation. But you manage to just kind of like pull it right back before it becomes like actual aggressive talk and just swindle the conversation around, turning Damocles' attention back onto other things, preventing disaster because he rolled a complication and one
Oh
Oh my
success.
god!
no.
Oh my
If he
fucking!
Yes.
succeeded, if he succeeded, it would have been horrible.
How much? Wait, how much how many success did Damocles get?
He had one.
Oh my god! I actually beat him. Holy shit!
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you
he
gotta
rolled
believe, man.
Holy
he
shit!
rolled like a 10, 17, 16, 18, and 20. Some shit like that.
Oh
Holy
my
shit,
He
god.
rolled
bro!
he
Look,
rolled
Holy!
yeah, no, it's poor roll, even with the rerolls, but yeah, it's just fucking
look, man's about to kill his man for his daughter. That's what's going on.
yeah, no. But Goldman, you save the situation. You pull it back. The dinner stays pleasant throughout its entirety. Congratulations. Um,
Time to buy some skill and communicate.
as you um, eventually people start moving back towards their quarters as it's getting quite late. If there's any private conversations you would like to have with any of the members present or between each other, now's the time.
Ooh, I think Rianne would start to establish that conversation about marriage to Freya. At least start putting the building blocks for that now.
Yeah,
If
I
you
mean
will.
you
We'll
can
speak with Freya.
catch Freya in her own room after dinner.
Lady Rianne, I'm sorry to bother you.
Don't bother.
Uh,
How can I help you?
I just wanted to check on you. I wanted to see how you were doing. I know we've asked it a lot today, but I always want to be sure.
I am absolutely fine. I'm pretty happy, to be honest.
That is good. That's good. I wanted to apologize a bit for putting Lord Alvar on the spot. Seemed he got a bit nervous there, but he seems to be doing well.
Yes, was a lot of questions, but I believe he's doing fine now, yes.
I cannot speak fully on Lord Damocles' feelings, but it's quite common for a father to be protective of their daughter, right? Especially in certain matters.
Yes, I understand my father, but it's may have been almost a little too much, but I guess that's him.
Well, protectiveness for their one's children, especially, well, I think it's very sweet of him. And like I said, Lord Alvar seemed to hold his own pretty well, at the very least. I do wanted to ask how things are going between you two.
I mean, pretty good. I mean, we are, we like each other.
Oh,
Mm, yes. I mean, as far as I understand it, I mean, I hope so.
well, I'm not that great with matters of the heart. Lady Naira has a better handle on that than most, I believe, for sure. Do you. Does he make you. Do you wish to go further with him?
Uh, that's a direct question. Um, you asked me too quick.
Rihanna has a bit of a smile on her face while she's watching you fumble here.
I'm not sure. Why are you asking?
Well, I'm just remembering a certain young lady who seemed so very nervous and unsure about the future and her marriage prospects, and now I see you with a young man who seems to enjoy your company and shares your interests, and you seem to, well, as Lady Naira says, you're fumbling dear. You seem to be having a f- you see this seems to be you two are a good match, if nothing else. And and while I do have my own mindsets about love and all these things, you two seem happy together. And I wanted to see if that was something you were looking into, or wanted you to explore at all. I am here to ensure your happiness to the best of my abilities.
I mean, I would love to spend more time with him, and I hope he feels the same way, but I cannot speak for him.
That is also true. But if it's all right for me to ask, my lady, would you wish to take those steps for further to further your relationship?
I'm not sure if it's maybe a little bit too quick, though.
Possibly as well, but I would love nothing more to see you be happy, Lady Freya. And if he makes you happy, I would like to see that continue to do so, especially since he's only here for the tutelage of Mr. Goldman. And there's nothing worse than words left unsaid.
Oh.
I mean, yes, you're right about that, yes.
Hmm.
I mean, I've waited for this moment a long time.
Well, I am happy for you, my lady. And like I said, I will grab an expert to help me in this regard. She like kind of claps her hands excitedly a little bit. Uh, I will ensure that, well, I will hopefully see this have bear fruit to a happy relationship between you two. We should have a girls' talk.
Yes, I assume that's an order, yes.
I wouldn't want to say it is an order, but apparently when it comes to the heart, you need more than one person involved. So,
That is correct, yes.
well,
I assume we can have a girls' night and girls' talk.
mm,
Have some cake.
yes. Treats, cake, gossip, some music possibly as well. I think it'll be good.
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Very well, my lady. I shall leave you for the night, and we should continue the conversation at a later date.
Freya's just gonna nod. I wish you good night.
And yeah, as with that seed planted, I guess, you all go to rest. Anyone want to have any other conversations before we call the session off?
There's a little talk with Damocles.
With between Gary and Damocles, yeah.
Yeah. Basically ask him.
Yeah, you can like catch him
Hello.
off a bit to the side before, as everyone has left the table.
Yeah.
It's like, Mr. Goldman, how can I help you?
Greetings, my lord. I noticed beforehand you had some. You were a bit curious in Mr. Lord Helheim at the table beforehand.
Sometimes my curious nature gets the better of me.
Of course, yeah. I'm just here to assure you that there's nothing to worry about the boy. He's a gentle soul.
It's good to hear. But do you have children, Mr. Goldman?
No.
Oh well. I cannot help but be maybe a bit too overprotective, I'll admit. That is my fault.
I see. No, and
Such
when it
as
comes to nobility, I understand.
it's not nobility itself, it is just a general thing. I would like to ensure that, well, everything goes well, and well, there is a thing that, well, I like to do with all the, at least the suitors that I've seen approach my daughters, and that is sort of a vetting process. It's just that tonight was not a good night for me. I'm usually better at this, I'll have to admit.
No, it's alright. In the end, then nothing happened in the end. Everything went well.
He like nods and says, "Thank you for preventing something embarrassing from happening."
Of course. Just doing my job. Taking care of the Lord Helheim.
Quite an admirable job you've done.
Thank you, my lord.
And he'll
Well, I think that's that.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
bow his head and leave you to it, as there's no one else. I guess that's where we call the session off.